TRON Aries has a lot of potential to become a major presence in Disney theme parks, especially given Disney's push towards synergizing its IP towards its theme parks. I'm highlighting 5 key ways in which TRON Aries could find its way into a Disney park near you.
Well, here we are.
Hey Disney fans, welcome back to the Magic Keycast. I am Jason, and I'm rolling solo on this one. Please hit that subscribe button, maybe leave a comment in the video when we get done, and share with someone else. Today, we're diving into the digital frontier with TRON Aries, and the real world for that matter. The upcoming TRON sequel looks to bring a whole new energy to the grid and real world, and maybe even a Disney park near you. That's right, with a new storyline where a program enters the real world, I think this opens the perfect door.
Now that is a big door.
For Disney to go big with TRON in the theme parks. So I'm breaking down some of my predictions on how TRON Aries could change rides, lands, and even the way we experience Disney parks.
Plus a Magic Key fun fact about how they achieved the glow effect in the original TRON movie.
Ready?
Let's start with expansion or ride retheming for TRON Lightcycle Run. Since TRON Lightcycle Run already exists at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World and Shanghai, Disney could add an Aries overlay to the ride, introducing updated effects, characters like Jared Leto's Aries, or a post-ride scene with new story elements. What about off-seasonal TRON Aries mode during nighttime hours or special events? Or update the queue experience or pre-show to tie in the digital world to the real-world concept of the new movie. Interactive story experiences. We've already seen this in Galaxy's Edge. Why not use this opportunity to do the same with TRON? TRON Aries program entering the real-world plot is ripe for immersive storytelling. They could simply use the Play Disney Parks app for in-park ARG or alternate reality game where guests help Aries complete missions in the real world. Or what about creating a walkthrough or VR experience at Epcot where guests interact with digital characters using augmented reality? How about new attractions in Epcot or Tomorrowland? The movie's theme aligns with Tomorrowland at Magic Kingdom and Disneyland, making it a natural fit for a larger TRON-themed area and replacing older attractions. You can't tell me you wouldn't enjoy some sort of TRON-themed attraction replacing the old People Mover line at Disneyland. For instance, there has been speculation, or at least fellow internet fans, stating that they would be fine with Autopia going away at Disneyland and putting TRON Lightcycle in. Plus, think about Epcot's focus on the future. They could absolutely absorb some sort of TRON Aries ride or attraction there as well. Merchandise and character meet and greets. This is one thing for sure we know is going to happen on some level. With Jared Leto's Aries being a new central figure, Disney could introduce character meet and greets with Aries, possibly in high-tech costume or via a digital avatar. And I'm absolutely certain they will launch a new TRON Aries merchandise line with toys, collectibles, gear, and light-up apparel as they did for TRON Legacy. Of course, a lot of that merchandise didn't come until the TRON Lightcycle Run ride was completed. That merchandise sells. So I guarantee Disney's going to do something with TRON Aries merchandising for sure. What about doing a cinematic tie-in? Follow me on this. What about a 4D presentation, similar to what they did with The Bug's Life, but do it this time with TRON, where us, the viewer, gets digitized into the grid and maybe shot back out into the real world with Aries to help him complete his mission. The Magic Eye Theater at Epcot could be a perfect place, as well as the Captain EO Theater in Tomorrowland at Disneyland. Think about the synergy that TRON IP could bring to Tomorrowland. Those are just a few of the ways in which I think TRON Aries IP will find its way into the Disney parks. If you have some other ideas, please drop them in the comment.
And now the Magic Key fun fact. Did you ever wonder how they achieved the glow effect in the original Tron movie? Well, it was achieved primarily through a technique called backlit animation. Actors wore white costumes and black vector lines were drawn on them. Then, colored light was shown through these lines, creating a glowing effect. This was done on a frame-by-frame basis, using traditional animation techniques. Some elements, like backgrounds, were hand-drawn and layered onto the live-action footage. This video details exactly how it was done.
Ironically, there's very little computer power put to this. A good portion of Tron is done with what we call backlight compositing. You photograph the actors in basically a white costume against black, and then on the costume you have some what looks like circuitry in black. You photograph that onto black and white.
Well, the black and white was just the most elegant way to do it. You know, obviously if we were doing stuff in color, we couldn't really evaluate what the flush tones were going to do, even though they were made up in a kind of black and white fashion. So it was a more elegant solution.
Once we had the photography, then those individual frames of film were put into two photorotoscope machines. That is, basically takes the film, projects it down onto a new piece of film that's a large piece of film, approximately 20 inches by 12 inches. The live action footage is projected on that, and then this large piece of film is put through a processor to make high-con film. High-con film is film that is entirely opaque or clear, so light can't pass through the opaque area. So for each one of those frames, we made X number of high-con positives and negatives. So a negative of someone with a white costume with black lines on it would be black and the lines being clear. There were basically, for each live-action character, an exposure for the main body, there was an exposure for the circuits, there was an exposure for the whites of the eyes and the whites of the teeth, maybe one other pass. So it was roughly 5 passes per character.
So after you've isolated all these different areas, you have to still photograph each isolated area separately over and over onto one frame of film, and oftentimes you're having these layers. The simplest one would be 6, 7 layers deep. The most complex one could be 25, 30 layers deep.
For each second of film, there were 24 transparencies and 24 high-cons, positives and negatives of different types with different masks over them that were put under animation cameras. I think we had 15 in the end animation cameras throughout town and here at Disney that had a uniform light source behind it with the same registration pins. The film that we used, the high-con and the continuous tone film, was a special edition that Kodak made for us. It was pre-punched because nobody has ever done a film like that before and nobody ever will again. It was, at that time, the solution to the design problem.
Because it's tricky to add texture to a glow, backlight animation is principally reserved for simulating lightning strikes, flames, or as with Tron, energy. Given that the computer world of Tron is chiefly composed of light, just about every permutation of the process appears in the film, flanked by airbrush backgrounds and the occasional CGI, which at that time most certainly wasn't advanced. What makes the use of backlit animation so notable in Tron is, apart from the sheer scale of its use, it was how they applied animated elements to live-action performances. It was a painstaking process that was truly revolutionary for its time.
I fight for the users.
Those are just a few of the ways in which I think Tron Ares IP will find its way into the Disney parks. If you have some other ideas, please drop them in the comment and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to leave a thumb up on this video. And if you too would like to see some changes come to Disneyland's Tomorrowland, well, check out this video. And thank you for checking out the Magic Keycast and being a cast member.
End of line.